Okay. Well, shout out to Carl.
Jake, it's good to see you, bro.
You too as well, always.
We got a different mic, but talk to us about the fight. Is it weird getting along with Mike Perry so well and having to punch him in the face?
Nah, I'll fight anybody, I'll spar anybody, I'll fuck anybody up. He said some nasty things, so he's funny and all that, but there is bad blood, and Saturday night I'm going to end him.
You had that famous sparring session. You've both been on great runs since then. What do you think of Mike's trajectory since that?
No, Mike's been on a tear. He's in his prime. Make no mistake. He's undefeated in bare knuckle. He's beaten some legends, and that's great, but they're not me. They don't know how to box. They don't have my power. So Mike Perry saying he's in his prime. He's young. There's no excuses for this after I knock him out.
What do you make of his pressure?
I think his pressure is, a lot for someone to handle if they don't know what they're doing. But he's not a good pressure fighter. People don't know how to take away and pick him apart. And so that's what I'm going to show on Saturday night, is exposing all of his weaknesses.
Next, Kevin.
Obviously it's not in the plan for you. Kevin Garcia with Fight High Jake. So obviously it's not in the plan for you. You come to win. I'm sure that you're sure of yourself in this W. But let's just say in some Twilight Zone universe, Mike pulls off a win. How could that affect your possible fight with Tyson in November?
It's not going to happen, man. It's not possible. So I can't even answer that question. I know I'm going to win with ease.
There you go. Have you spoke to Mike Tyson at all? Do you have any update you can offer us?
Yeah, no, he's doing good. He's back to training. He was concerned with me taking this fight. He's like, what is Jake thinking? This guy, Mike Perry's a killer. So he has some concerns, but Tyson, my message to you is, don't worry, I'm going to put this guy to sleep. This is a Mike appetizer, and then you're next.
Rizzo.
Yeah, Jake, the people want to know, your walkout, more or less than 90 and a half seconds.
It sounds like a little better thing we got going on here. My walkout's probably going to be more than 90 seconds.
Good job. You want to answer?
Jake, just a question for the UK fans. Obviously, Carl Froch has said some not nice things about you in the past, but he actually tweeted saying that you might grow him over your comments about Donald Trump. What are your feelings towards Carl? And he's made it clear he wants to fight you. Do you think that could happen?
Yeah, wait, who is he? Is he Tommy Fury's camp?
Carl Froch.
He said what?
He's tweeted, because obviously you've had some back and forth in the past. He said well, Carl said a lot about you.
Okay. Well, shout out to Carl. I don't know what to say, but yeah, man, like obviously all these people in boxing or MMA, whatever he is, they're going to talk shit. They're going to discredit everything that I've done and in this sport because they're jealous. They want to be in my position or they want to fight me. So it is what it is.
His name Mike is the face of bare knuckle boxing. How do you think his power will translate over into boxing?
Man, I'm sure he's going to have some good power. I just believe that he's not going to be able to hit me. I'm going to be too fast, working behind my jab the whole entire night and moving out of the way of his big punches and exposing him in his chin.
What are your thoughts on the lawsuit between Diaz and Femur?
Say it again?
What are your thoughts on the Diaz-Masvidal lawsuit?
I think Nate Diaz and the Masvidal lawsuit just shows how dumb these people are. This is not an easy business. Boxing is not easy. It's not easy to sell pay-per-views. If someone's giving you a big guarantee, it's most likely fraudulent. And Nate Diaz should have taken my $15 million MMA offer, but yesterday's price is not today's price, so now that he needs money, the offer goes down, and I'm still down to run it in the PFL against Nate Diaz.
You say 2025 you want to be world champion. Is there any way cruiserweight? Is that correct?
Yeah, in the next 2 years, I will be cruiserweight world champion.
Are you eyeing anyone in particular?
There's a lot of names on the list. I want everybody, and I'm going to prove to everybody that I can upset these guys and that I'm a greater boxer than everyone ever thought.
Jake, you just talked about Nate Diaz and Masvidal, their situation, and I just want to ask, is there any potential possibility that you could ever mend things with Dana? He's spoken respectfully about you at times, like on his Club Shay Shay interview. He didn't bash or anything like that. Considering the fact that he seems to be the impediment between you and a Nate Diaz MMA fight or a Masvidal MMA fight, could that relationship ever be mended?
Look, there's a lot of things I respect about Dana White, his politics, what he did for MMA, but now it's time for him to pay his UFC fighters more. And so if he can agree to do that, then I'm more than down to sit down and have a conversation with them and work on our relationship like grown men. And at the end of the day, I just want what's best for the fighters.
KSI is fighting Slim the Hitman and Anthony Taylor in a 1 versus 2. Do you think you've now proven the difference between you and KSI in terms of you taking the sport seriously and maybe him not?
Yeah, man. I mean, he's been a joke in the sport since day one. I said before the Gibb fight that he would never fight me, and that still holds true. He's doing this WWE tag team boxing, and that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to become a world champion.
Go ahead, Fred.
Jay, when do you reckon you'll make your transition to MMA? You think next year maybe?
I think I'll make the transition into MMA when the opponent or an opponent wants to sign a contract. Somebody that I'm interested in fighting for my first MMA fight, and that's a name like Nate Diaz. I would be interested in fighting Mike Perry, but I want to do MMA. I love it. I have a wrestling background, and I think it'd be really exciting.
Thank you, everyone. That's it.
Guys, I'm sorry. Thank you guys.